Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
It's good to be the king.
Shit. Fuck. We missed that. Okay, anyways, now I'm recording. Okay, so a little bit of a false start there. Sorry. I haven't done one of these in like a month. It's been crazy. This is Brett's with Friends, my 91st episode with an old pal, Martin Marks. I haven't seen you forever. You look great. Let's see. Where are you at? I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever messed up on a time. Where are you living?
Okay, I'm outside Boulder, Colorado, in this little town called Niwot, Colorado.
What are they? They must have some sort of name that they twerk with that to make it funny.
Oh, sure.
What do the locals call it?
Yeah, well, everybody that comes here says Niwot. And the thing, Niwot, I guess there's a big statue of this Native American leader, chief, that was called Chief Niwot, and he was left-handed, so there's a bunch of left hands all over town. Arts, and you get to decorate them and all that stuff. It's one of those old 5,000 population, old America, cute towns,
Is it like a white town, or is it pretty multicultural, or is there?
Colo Whito, my friend said when I moved here,
Is it red or blue?
Well, I don't think you get any more left than Boulder, but just outside Boulder, it seems to switch pretty fast and could go either way. I think more on the other side. So Boulder, hot spot for progressiveness. And then you don't have to go far. I think we're in a sort of in between this place called Longmont and Boulder. So we're sort of politically, everybody keeps quiet here.
Okay, so we're going to backtrack. We're going to do like a past, present, and future scenario. First of all, I haven't seen you in 20 years, something like that, 15 years? What is it, 11, something like that? Last time I saw you, I think I was in Venice Beach and I was selling artwork or something. I hadn't seen you for a while. My brain was in a few different places, and you came running up, Brett, and I didn't recognize you. I know I look different or something, right? And I was like, I hadn't seen you in like 5 years. I think I was like struggling. I was in a survival mode. And I was like, oh, Martin. But that was the last time I saw you, I think, right? Maybe.
Well, it's so interesting that we're talking because, and I don't mean to make a segue, but I'm working on, and I said, I'm working on this piece, and I sent Claude a screenshot of this 15 pages. Well, in my season 3 of my audio book, right? I have this website, martinmarksmusic.com, right? And so it's got my legacy or whatever, because it's so unknown. I figure I put it together somewhere. Nice. But my brother, a few years past, paid me to sit and write down my story. So I got to write 485 pages. I thought maybe I can't do a book, Brett. It's too much for me. So I wrote as well as I could, but I figure I can read it in. Like I think I'm okay with reading in as an audio book, or some people call it a podcast, whatever. 2 summers in a row, I released 10 episodes of season 1, and that was me growing up in Sweden, first band, moving to America with my brother, making all the mistakes you can make, playing the Hollywood clubs. Season 2 came last summer, 8 episodes, I think, and that was 92 to 95 in Stockholm, making 2 albums. My brother made an album. It was fantastic time in hard rock, and so that was cool. And I thought that got a little momentum with my friends in Sweden. There's been a lot of reunions since, I'm not saying, but I am excited about it. And now I'm working on season 3, and I got it edited now. I just got to read it in. But in there is our time. This is don't laugh. I'm not putting anybody out. Don't worry.
No, I think you should name names, because we're going to name names on this podcast, because everybody we know is going to be watching this. Some people we like, or they don't like us, or we had a tumult. We had the run of the mill of Venice back then, and to see where people have come, or they were. and where they are now, and people that still talk to each other and the ones that don't. I've lived in LA long enough to have my friends become my enemies and my enemies become my friends. So it's like it's a menagerie of tales and stories and people and characters.
Well, I think it's interesting because I was a few streets up from you on Thornton Avenue, and you were on Dudley, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And you were the artist, the painter that I got to come see. And you were a great host and this and that. Of course, with guys that can, maneuver and party and talk to people and everything. They sometimes we or whatever can get the somebody saying like, oh no, Brett,
Oh no, everyone is very, very individualizedly characterized. It's just funny for me to see, because I'm going to be mentioning some people because I want to see a video that you did back in that time, and I want to get your permission to play it with Tisha and Belinda. I want to say Melinda. I want to see that one in clothes in it as well. I want to play that video because it's such a time capsule.
Yeah.
And I think it's such a fucking good song. I mean, I want that. We're going to be getting to that because so when you came from Sweden, how old were you to the States? And if I remiss, I live in a backtrack because we kind of got a false start. You're a singer, songwriter, musician, vocalist, art teacher. Is there anything I'm missing?
No, I just, it's just, I'm an adventurer and a writer, and music sort of when I sing that as an early age, maybe 8, 9 or so, like people are like, ooh, he's got a nice voice. So, stuck to that. Around 13, 14, I picked up the guitar. And by 14, 15, I joined a band, and by 16 we were in this national battle of the bands in Sweden, and the battle of the band was famous because Europe, the final countdown, if you remember those guys, they had won that kind of yeah, exactly. So we were, anybody came and did, and one was going to follow in their footsteps, become big in America. And so we were there. First year we got kicked out on the first, but second year we went far, big stadium and this kind of thing. And the paper, they should have won the whole thing. So when I was 18, to answer your question, me and my brother said, let's go see the Swedish record labels. We are ready. Let's go. Sorry.
Let's go.
I have such memories. I crack myself up.
It's funny. It's funny shit.
Well, we were a little too strong. Me and my brother wasn't Swedish by blood, so we had a little strong attitude for their sake. You should be a little more chill, not bring attention to yourself and those kind of things. But we said, let's go see those Swedish labels. I was 18, he was 19. I let him be in my band. I took a step back, I played bass and let him sing. And so we called and said, we got to come in and play you the demo. Oh, you can send it. No, we're going to come in. They're like, okay. So we booked the we hitchhiked on this big trucker. If you pay the meal, you can come with us to Stockholm. And like, yeah. So we got there and we're sitting in the office with them listening, and they're passing. It's not for us, this and that. We're sitting with cowboy boots, long hair, leather jacket. This is 87, 88.
Yeah.
So the whole thing passes on us. We catch the last trucker out of there at 2:30 from the depot and get home. And my brother says, hey, you look so down, little brother. I said, what are we going to do, man? And this rock star in Sweden, Magnus Ax, he was in the band Swedish Erotica. He had told us in the restaurant, once the Swedish label passes on you, it will take years before you get a chance again. They never lose their job. So I was thinking, man, what are we going to do? And he's like, yeah, we figured I took up my favorite records. I turned them around and I looked for an address, and it said always something like, hey, Michael, Sunset Boulevard. That's where we got to go. and it took a few weeks. And then we had booked the ticket. And that's why we knew nothing about the town, nobody there. we just thought that seems like most record labels are there. So 88, wait,
88.
late 80,
Whoa.
yeah, 88 we got there, and
How old
88
are
or
you?
80.
How old are you now?
Well, I'm born 70, Brett. How about you?
Really? I'm 69,
I
420.
see, that's my brother was 69, 5/14, May
Oh, okay.
14th.
Taurus.
So, but yeah, so you know exactly where you were at in your life. I think it was even 89, but beginning, and then we just touched down, him and I, trying to get to Hollywood, and we were going to find some band members and become famous. You know.
And when you landed in LA and you'd never been there before, and you just saw it like out of a magazine, like this is the story, this is the beginning of the movie. Then you see the plane going across the sky, and then you land in there, and where did you move to first, and how much money did you guys have? Did you know what you're about to do, or it was just the gleeful naivete of youth?
Oh man, so the first even getting in, we were so naive, so green that they passed out the visa papers on the flight, and they said, you know, where are you staying? Because you can't just be a vagrant.
Like everybody else in this fucking town.
You can't just grab a tent, you know what I'm saying? So, but we, being two crazy guys, we had met these two girls in Stockholm that said, we'll come and meet you at the airport. We had said, you know, here's our time. Yeah, we'll be there. So what should we put address? They were said, you can stay with us the couple first night. We don't know where they live, Mike. I know. Let's leave it blank. Yeah, let's do that. So we go up to the, you know, to the passport, got border patrol. He's like, why is this blank? So they take us into a room and blah, blah, blah. This stewardess comes by, looks in the room. What are you guys doing here? Now, again, Brett, we had the long hair, leather jacket that you could, you know, she had probably like, that's too, you know, interesting character. So she's like, what's going on? And we said, we didn't fill in. She took a pen and put Marriott Hotel, you know, and they came back in. What's going on? They're staying at the Marriott Hotel. Are you? Yes, we're staying at. So we went straight to the Marriott Hotel, you know, so scared. But then we made it up to Hollywood the first morning, got IHOP breakfast, thought that the butter,
Classic.
yeah, and we thought the butter thing on top was ice cream because we had that scoop. So we took a big bite each. But we found a motel on La Brea and Sunset, Seventh Vale Motel, I think it's called, between Sunset and Hollywood. And Brett, we were looking for an apartment. I tell you, then the worst thing, we found an apartment on Las Palmas, and that little street that's before Franklin, that little corner up there north of Hollywood Boulevard, up Las Palmas. And
I think I remember that place. Or you weren't the only around that place that lived there, right? Other people were like around that area. Like
I'm sure.
like who was the early heads? Like there was that guy Rome. Did you ever meet that guy? No, okay, that's outside that, because I started meeting you back in Venice, I think. But you had dodged. How did you make your way to Venice? How did you find? Because from Hollywood to that, like, because you're young, wild rock star from
Right.
Sweden.
Yeah.
And how long did you stay in Hollywood before? I mean, what was that? I'm sorry, I digress.
No, it was pretty much till till I was 25, till 95 I moved to Venice. And so before that, it was Sweden, Hollywood, you know, staying on all those streets, Poinsettia and Las Palmas and, you know, Wilcox and, you know, and try to play in the clubs there, and then back to Stockholm playing clubs and trying to get it going. And then I thought, you know, like, Hollywood sucks, you know, like, what, can't we live at that place we go on the weekends sometimes? What do you mean? That Venice place, Venice, why don't we live there? Why doesn't anybody live down there? And so I started, and then some friends of mine started moving down as well. And one of them, Ava,
Oh yeah.
she was the one who introduced me to the gang. She's Swedish.
The circles are.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
connection.
That was the connect.
Yeah. And they happened that summer '95, I believe, or '96.
Yeah, it was right then. That was right in the pocket.
And yeah, and you were pumping out paintings on Dudley and had all kinds of interesting people come in and out of that gate there.
Yeah, that was great. I have so much footage I have to edit from those days. I've got like 30 hours of footage of people that I shot and situations that I have to get transferred and edit. It's gonna be a time capsule.
I was cool. I'll be the first to say that I was caught up in my own thing. But when they talked about Brett, you had your own thing going. I always had to stop and say, like, good for him, good for him. He's got a buzz going. When people away from you, they would say something that was uplifting about, something.
Well, you had some good times for sure. I mean, there were some good times when I look back at those Dudley days. It was like that shit was crazy. Like everybody had parties going nonstop around like a 10 block radius all at the same time and so people would just fucking go from party to party to party to party. You'd mix it, you end up talking to Harvey Keitel or meeting somebody at a party on a rooftop, or you're like, what the fuck is going on here, man?
Just running the alleys.
Yeah, even in the alleys, like I was like in the middle of the day and there's like on Dudley Court or Dudley where the alleyway is, there's like Bronson Pinchot was stuck behind another car, from Balky.
Maybe
from is an old TV show, and he was like stuck behind the car. And he's like, "This is lunacy," and I was like, and I was like, "You're right. This is kind of crazy." Anyway, it just is very funny times. But like, so when you're in Venice and you're still hopping to Sweden and stuff like that, are you writing at this point every day? Are you already have a section of music that you have your go-to? What led up to the video that you shot with some mutual friends that we used to know?
Yeah. And that's exactly what I am writing about or wrote. And I'm going to be reading in. I usually go for the other season. I go early in the morning, 3:30, and I read for 2 hours, narrate my story, and because it's all quiet around and all that stuff. And now it's telling that story. And I came with the album that I had called The Story of Faye and Valentine. It was like a theme album, but it was called Breath of Life. And Lane and Dave Gold and those guys were very enamored by that album. And Flowers was a song that we played, Only My Eyes, and so I came with that album in '95, and I sent it out to all the publishing, all the record company, and Samba Music Group Publishing picked me up as a go
I just want to ask you a quick question. Now, when you did that, well, that was a physical copies, right? You're not doing it digital, right? You were handing out fucking stacks of fucking albums, right?
Yeah, this is another story. I had to put them in these soft envelopes and send them out. And to get the addresses, I bought these magazines, and it said on the bottom, no unsolicited materials accepted. And I asked Bob, whoever was around, what does that mean, unsolicited? They don't want it from you, man. They want it for somebody they know. I go, what? Like, how can I succeed?
That's Hollywood, baby.
And so in the story, and I don't know if I can keep her or not, I make some fake stamps and all this stuff with fake names and management. I think that's fine. And I stamp it on, and I'll try to come up with these management names, which, bogus. But Samba Music Group Publishing calls me and comes and sees me play at the Coconut Teaser and pays me a little bit of money for this development contract. And that's what I was on with them. I was putting in more songs. We want more songs like Flowers, the boss guy would say. And I was like, well, I don't know what's going to come out. I was still artist, now I would have been gone home and, he later became the Grammy CEO and so on, you know. So I should have listened, but I was young. And so yeah, I was
You had
writing
a
and
lot, but it sounds like you had a lot going on really fast. Like from the time you got to fucking Hollywood from Sweden. I mean, it sounds like it was pretty much like brr, like you were living it. Like that's a dream of a kid coming from Sweden. You know what I mean? Like you came in and like were working, getting paid, getting hired, playing. That's you did pretty good. It sounds like it's been a fun trip so far. Or back, okay, tell us
it
more.
was right, it was right.
When does it go to hell?
No, it was right there. You know, it was like and sitting in this 9,000 building at Sunset Boulevard, and this guy came in, Jeff Blue. So he found Lincoln Park or one of those like big band, and he goes, "If Ashley signs you, I'm going to have nothing to do with it. Nothing. They'll be all her." And I sat there and I was like, "Is he insulting me? He really wants nothing to do with me." But I'm so young. This is all going through my head, you know, like I'm trying to, I'm so far from home. And, but you're right. I mean, even though, you know, it didn't, you know, manifest exactly like you think, but yeah, 3 weeks out sending that 95 CD. I know I'm dropping some names, but Tim Sommer of Atlantic Records had signed Hootie and the Blowfish and became the A&R of the year. Calls my answering machine and says, "Sorry, it took me so long to call you back." And I thought, 3 weeks since I sent the CD. But I was so broke and I was laying on the floor in these guys' place and I, I couldn't even call him back. There's mine. I asked a music group to call him back and they didn't. They were like, "Oh, I don't know what happened," but you know what I
Wow.
mean?
You should have told me. I would have called him back for you.
Yeah, I know. It was, you know, I don't know if you bury your head in your hands ever, but sometimes I do, you know. But live and live.
Yeah, I don't know, there's a lot of things with the survival aspect and living in that and getting prone to being, where that it's sort of like living that pain body, ever hear listen to Eckhart Tolle
I've
where
heard the name a
you know
lot.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he is it's a living in a pain body. Then living in a pain body is like something that, and I'm paraphrasing, like I'm gutting this, everybody's going to kill me, but it's basically living in this state where the pain body wants to, like anything else that's alive in your body, wants to be fed, and it'll do what it needs to be fed, and that means also like relationships. You'll like there's lots of different things. It's more complicated than that, but that survival aspect, and then you get used to that, and then it's hard to get out of that because you're so used to it. It's a muscle that you've trained, and like you're getting like
I see a pattern, you
yeah.
know, through the writing of my story or whatnot. You know, my friend Alan told me, you know, when he ended up listening to that season too, "You have to continue now. You're sitting on a bus in Stockholm." And I said, "No, you remember my friend picks me up, lets me sleep on his couch for 2 weeks. It's good now. No, you have to continue." And to him, you know, it's um, he sees, you know, he says, "But then you get close, band breaks up, lose the contract, and then it breaks up and they lose the contract, you know." And he's got a cool accent, but I think there's a pattern, yes, but that's to build up the character that for later. Why is he the way he is? Because boom, boom, you know, and I'm sure it's a story. Everything I think is special about me, I find is something we all are going through and feeling and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, there's it's relatable, and you're not the only one going through it. And then sometimes when you express it, there's a solidarity to that because you know that you're not alone. Other people.
Simple.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
it's
was cool with the old one. There was a few people that reached out to me and they were looking forward to listening again. And it's like a time capsule. That's why now it was cool with the other ones, the two other seasons. I could say, let's go back 30 years. And now it's becoming more like 26, 27 years. Is it long enough, Brett? Is it long enough?
we'll have to match it when well, maybe they have to do like some sort of collaboration once I start editing this footage from those times. We'll
Yeah.
see. I think it's been a long time, and I think the statute of limitations are off. I can pretty much show anybody I want. And also I still know a lot of those people, but I would show everybody in the best light, but also it's a reality as well. I like that Terrence Malick sort of thing where you're shooting moments, you know. So hopefully those are going to be captured in those. But so can we talk about this video? Because I love this video and the song. Do you know the one with T and Melinda and Claude?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where'd you
Oh, yeah.
tell us? Because I want to show that. Why don't we do this? Why don't you introduce it, and then we'll cut it and I'll insert it right here, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Okay.
And talk about name the song, give a little like dialogue about it, and then we'll come back to it. We'll show it and then introduce a video. Like a little this is like time capsule sort of stuff.
Should I look at you or in the camera there?
You can do whatever you want. We can put you on full screen.
Okay. Well, this is the song Summertime from my album Got Soul Will Travel. Came out in May 1999. I wrote this song partly in Venice and partly back in Sweden. And it was a song that I hear now has a line or two that is politically correct or not correct. But to me, I love this song because it has a little bounce to it. And it's about that time, the warm time that we all long for in Sweden.
Give me the summertime, sparkling wine, women in short skirts so fine. A Thunderbird, cruising low, JB live on the stereo. And in the backseat, bare feet, is my beautiful girl popping on a J. She's with me cause she wants to be with the man who can swing with the sun at his feet. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not that I'm naive, I know all about your seasons. I count on 1, 2, 3. Didn't do, but it's for the one that I adore. You give me 1,500 reasons I should stay through 4 and catch the autumn leaves. Give me the summertime, sparkling wine, women in short skirts so fine. A Thunderbird, cruising low, JB live on my stereo. And in the backseat, bare feet, there's my beautiful girl puffing on a J. She's with me cause she wants to be with the man who can swing with the sun at his feet. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Some they like the snow, to cuddle by the fire and to hear the cold wind blow. But didn't you be so romantic? Poets dig the spring, roses bloom, the birds returning for me to do my thing. Goodbye gray skies, hello blue. Give me the summertime, sparkling wine, women in short skirts so fine. A Thunderbird, cruising low, JB live on the stereo. And in the backseat, bare feet, there's my beautiful girl popping on a J. She's with me cause she wants to be with the man who can swing with the sun at his feet. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The icebreaker. Hey, baby, what you doing? You wanted what? Skinny dipping. All right. What's that? Of course you can bring your girlfriend. No sweat. I'll pick you up in twins. All right. Give me the summertime, sparkling wine, women in short skirts so fine. A Thunderbird, cruising low, JB live on my stereo. And in the backseat, bare feet, there's my beautiful girl puffing on a J. She's with me cause she wants to be with the man who can swing with the sun at his feet. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it up one time, give it up 2 times, give it up
Boom, clap, boom. Oh, wait, I saw this video a while back, and when you somebody posted or something like that, it was a time capsule because it was such a I think that was even before I met you guys or something. I forget, or maybe it was around. Maybe I was doing crazy. I was on the beach probably selling art, but it was such a fine night. You shot that in 1999.
Uh, yeah,
I knew you
yeah,
guys. I knew you.
yeah, I did. Yeah, 1999. Yeah.
Does
Yep.
it trip you out to watch it now?
You know, it's funny because most people who see me on that video and the video offer me something that's shot in Spain, but the LA one, people say, "Oh, it doesn't even look like you," and
It
you
does.
know, I'm like, it's the first thing that people say, and I'm like, man, have I aged that much?
Motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can.
it's probably what you were gonna say.
I see videos of myself acting when I first got to LA or something, or before that, and my face is so thin, I don't even recognize myself. It seemed like I said, man, I look at myself as I look really hungry, like I'm really thin. But that's
Yeah.
I look back at some of those old actors, or that's how people looked when they're younger, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we're old and rounder.
Yeah, let's put it that way. But yeah, I like it because it gives me some scenery of LA, a town that I spent so much time in. And when they said, we're gonna have to hire some people in LA to be in the video, I said, no, I have people that we should bring in. And in their storyboard, the brunette was the lead. But I thought for myself, it'd be easier if the blonde was, because I know her better or whatever. And so I didn't want to mess. These guys have made some big music videos. Robin is this female artist in Sweden that made it out a little bit out of the country, and some other stuff that they had made. So, they weren't really into listening to me. I was a nobody and stuff. So I let them do the thing. Do you know a brunette? And I thought of Tahisha, right? And do you know a blonde? And I say, yeah, I thought of, are you saying her name or no?
Yeah, we get Melinda. Yeah, for sure. Melinda, they don't get.
I knew you were joking it up earlier.
I was just because the reason why that stuck in my mind is because she always did that actress that they knew, Natasha, the really pretty, she had almond skin, gorgeous model, whatever actress, did some B movies, but Melinda called her Bopasha once. And it stuck in my and it stuck in my mind as Bopasha. So I was trying to lean into a Belinda.
Okay.
It wasn't a knock, even though if she ever sees this, she was like, "Fuck you guys," whatever. I don't know, but yeah, those are funny times. But yeah, continue. No, so hey, Tahisha, Melinda, I love you guys. I don't, whatever. However you feel to be. I don't know. I don't care.
And then it also called for one dude
Classic.
at the gas station, and he was gonna be sort of like sling bladey kind of guy, like little strange guy out there. And so I just wanted to have friends,
Well, that's a no-brainer right there. You pretty much have probably one person came to mind, I'm sure.
The most interesting man that we know is named Claude, and if you can hire him for the day, your day is gonna be better off.
Shout out to Claude, the trifecta, and cheers. So continue with the story. So you get these three together, and they all know each other as well, right? At the time.
Yeah, we did.
And so you guys are all friends.
Yeah, we had those years, those 96, 97, when we were sort of centered around that Paloma building with Wild Bill and Steve and Mark and whoever else was over there. Oh, what was his name? Mike, I think. And so there were some people over there. And
are you talking about Malibu Mike? Are you talking about Malibu Mike and Scott Holden?
It could be. I don't know them by that name. Maybe they moved to the Paloma building.
Forget it. We'll bleep that. I'll bleep that out.
but yeah, so we had those years where we we did a lot of barbecuing and walking to the beach and doing all kinds of experimenting with life and stuff. And so we had that. So I went back to Sweden, got serious, and made this album there, and came back to do a video. I thought, how cool to hire. So those guys were, you know, people that I had spent some time with. So we got to do a day at least together, and it was out there in the sort of towards the Mojave Desert or whatever. And then for Tahisha was, oh yeah, for her too, we had to drive out to get to some isolated road and this kind of thing. So a lot of driving, but I think they got paid at regular rates. So I think it was all worth it. And all that.
Nice. Well, and look what you got. You got this classic fucking video that completely encapsulates the time and the moment and the feeling and the vibe. And it's good. I love time capsules. You know, I love things captured in amber, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's good. You know, I was trying to have a great time. At the same time, you're thinking like, you know, about the success and if it's going to work. Is this a good video, bad video? You know, does it make sense to cut it together like this? Because they had a story timeline for the video, and there's a storyline how he picks up Tahisha, and then Tahisha goes swimming. He doesn't want to go swimming. He's got to go get the cash. He makes the sign somewhere. No, I can't go swimming. I got to go and make some money. I got to make this deal. And then in their script, they had, then these two, then she brings in a blonde, and the two of them rob you, carjack you, kick you out, take your car and your money. And that's why they drive off in the end. Bye-bye. And Melinda shows a gun to me in the end of the video. And it was so much in it. And I was like, I don't know if in 3.5 minutes they can follow along. But you know what? You know, I was, you know, not working a regular job at the time. It was cool, you know, like I was trying to enjoy it at the same time.
It's good. It's amazing how art reflects life that way. But it could have been a documentary almost. So when you, okay, so what happens to you after this video? And this is like when people actually made videos still.
Last thing, you know, and I was on while we try to push it in Europe, in the MTV offices in Europe, it was still MTV, right before MTV probably falls apart and becomes like a TV network or something. There is MTV Nordic countdown that we're on, number 2, number 4. And then I'm doing the morning shows and the evening show, the talk shows, Good Morning Sweden. I'm doing
Good Morning Sweden.
Yeah, and they asked me, I'm trying to make a splash, Brett. So I'm sitting there with a blue suit with white stars on it, like, you know, like this. And they're so irritated. Who is these nobody? So they're saying things like, what are you coming with that's new? What are you bringing that's new? You know, and they try to bait me into being cocky and this kind of, and I probably was confident, American confidence. I've learned that in America to be confident, you know?
How do you get confidence? How do you I mean, like, if I was an alien asking a human how somebody gets confidence, what is that?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, I have a headline in a paper in Sweden. One of the 3 biggest rock journalists says, and I bugged him probably a little bit because in Sweden, it's not a compliment. He says, self-confidence in XXL size is his headline. Or no, it's editors make the headlines, right? He doesn't make the headline. But anyway, so I thought about that in Sweden. How do you get when we came here and we were passing out flyers on the Sunset Boulevard for our band in the late 89, early 90s, there was hundreds of bands passing out, and we were saying to these girls walking up down with the big hair and the snits and the tube tops and all that. So we were saying, come see our band on Friday. And they go, why should we see your band? It's pretty good. And we are from Sweden and stuff. And they go to the, hey, come see our band. Why should we see your band? Because we're the fucking best band in the world. We're going to rock your side. We're like, whoa, dude, they must be really good, you know?
Nice.
But no, You got it. Speak, and then people told us you can't be like, yeah, we're pretty good, and this
pretty good. Yeah. Uh,
would be better if we rehearsed more.
and so, what are your okay? So coming out of that time, like, there's obviously a giant shift that's about to happen. Did you see it coming? The fall of the record industry, with LimeWire and so on, and how then the internet, and basically because I grew up in a time where you're very careful about sampling anybody because you didn't want to get sued. Like you didn't want to use anybody's imagery or, God forbid, any sound,
Or
right?
even singing too
Music.
much
Yeah.
on a record or
So
something.
and then it sort of blew open when after Beastie Boys got sued and all these things, and everybody, the doors of reality, and like look at TikTok, everything, Instagram, people doing Adele songs and making videos out of them. That was never heard of. That was like a big cross, like you couldn't cross that. Like when I was doing film school, you didn't do that. And I took
Yeah.
I did a film called Salome, where I used one of the songs from because I was trying to, it's about Solomon and John the Baptist. Maybe I'll show that in this clip or whatever, but at the end of the thing maybe. But I took the soundtrack from Peter Gabriel's Last Temptation of Christ because it was the exact thing I needed. And so I was really careful about like, do I put this up on YouTube? Will I get flagged? Will it be taken down? Will I not be able to, do I have to redo it, re-edit? Because the music is fucking perfect. And later it showed, like after like a year or two and it didn't get taken down, there was a button for the Last Temptation of Christ there underneath of it.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, somebody okayed this.
Right.
Somebody saw it and was okay. He's not making money off it. But
yeah,
then
I'm still trying to look at that. Yeah. But at that time I was watching my steps. I saw the Napster thing and Metallica getting really upset.
They get their bungees in a jump, didn't they? They're still all over that shit. They're really savvy. I don't know if they're, do you like that about them?
I thought, it doesn't make them look good, but somebody had, like, if you don't care, they probably all felt like that. The big artist that's going to make a big difference on or whatever. But so that's on them. But but yeah, I saw that one, and then I saw that System of a Down album that was called "Steal This CD" or something like that. "Steal This Album" or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like, it's just going to go that way. Artists are going to just say, give it away, here, take it, whatever, the music. And I was thinking about it. I wasn't making money on my recording, so it wasn't really hitting home to me, and so I didn't worry about it at all. But yeah, it changed.
So did you circumvent that? Do you think you went under like a dolphin in the water? You kind of avoided all the drama of that?
I don't know. I don't know. I just think that I just never was successful enough to for it to make a difference. I still sit on a 300 song catalog of strong songs, and was always hoping to sell a few of those and all that kind of stuff. I grew up as my rival with the same promoters and everything in Stockholm in 92, 93 was Max Martin, who called himself Martin White at the time. And he wrote right as he said, quit. And they said, oh, Martin's not going to sing. He's going to write pop songs for what was it at the time? It was Ace of Base and songs like that producer from that.
I Saw the Sign. I love that song. I Saw the Sign.
Well, then he did, all the Britney Spears and the Backstreet Boys in sync, and made himself, a fortune. And but at the time, we were sort of shoulder to shoulder there in Stockholm and with rock bands and stuff. And he just saw a path beyond that. But momentum and all that stuff.
You already, I'm going to tell you something right now, because you already know this, but you already are successful. The success, you know what I mean? Like, you doing what you love. Somebody told that to me about, like, on a Jessamine on this recent thing. She's like, don't call it a silly little podcast anymore. You should be proud of it. And it's not, yes, because I used to do that when I opened the thing, just as a, you know, self-deprecating and stuff like that. But I stopped saying it after that, because she said you should be, you are successful, you are an artist, you are a podcaster, that, you know, you are, you know, doing little movies and you creating things that you like, and that is success. So I jettison that back to you, because it can be easy to, you are successful, you're doing things that people dream about doing, but you're so in it, probably you don't see it as, you know, you see it as you, because you're the creator of it. So
Yeah, it's the other side, bro. You know, the monetary and all those bills that just leave and make you go
yeah.
out and
Well,
limousines
Rip
or-
Kroc, this world famous artist. Rip Kroc is an amazing artist. He's world famous, and he said if I wanted to be if I wanted to be rich, I wouldn't have been an artist.
Okay,
So he knew that. You know, we all know this going into it.
that's true. That's true. But life is expensive, so expensive.
Well, especially you have children now, right?
I did go for the being the family man, and you want to do as I have one, and you want
Somebody had to do it. It wasn't going to be any of us.
you know, I didn't know if I could reach the next level of wisdom without taking that. And wow, once you step in, man, it's like, whew, like there's no like, okay, that wasn't for me. You know, like you're all in for if you want, you know, and conscience keeps you, should keep you right on. And yeah, I took her to a nice place, got her in private school and competitive dance and everything. I don't know how, and you know.
And are
Anyway,
you still together or in touch with the mother?
oh yep, yeah. We're married. We're married.
Oh, so you stay together.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
You know, after a
So
long time.
hey, you're killing it. You're more successful than you think.
Yeah.
That
I
maybe
mean,
that's your humbleness. Maybe that's your humbleness.
okay. Yeah. No, I just I have drive, you know, like I have drive, and I thought with talented drive, you can manifest anything. And then coming to America, I'm not placing any blame, but MTV generation, I feel like I am. And the videos, I thought everything was real. And then I came and I saw on Sunset Boulevard these buildings looked nice. And you looked and it was just the front, you know. I said, oh, yeah, it's a facade. And
Yeah.
I go, oh, facade. Yeah, when it's just the front.
Yeah.
It's just the front. Oh, and then movie sets, they could be just the front when they drive by and all this kind of, and it was just a lot of illusions had to break down for the new world to step in. For me,
You had to get older. You had to get older and realize that those were facades and they're not really like you created before Hollywood. You're going to create after Hollywood. Hollywood is a facade. It's an illusion. It's like, do you want to create the, like a one-hit wonder? No, you're in it for the long haul. You don't, you know what I mean? When the record industry fell, because I was working with T over at X Music, and we were doing like I was shooting interviews with like Pharrell when they were doing in NERD and stuff like that, and Goldsmack and Kings of Leon, all these things. I never got any of that footage back, unfortunately, because I shot some killer shit. But that was a big transition. There's lots of it, like the bricks were slowly coming off the building, and to see because it's like when you sell weed or something, it's the more hands it touches, the more diluted it becomes, the more expensive it becomes. So
yeah.
so it's like it would. I kind of we're kind of seeing it in real time, kind of like crumbling, and the internet was being born. So it was real quick. We were just getting used to cell phones right around that time. You have to understand those hiccups. Like if you had a cell phone back when this was happening in 1999, or like a video or like Instagram, it would would that look? How different, crazy would that look?
You know, I remember the pager, right? I had the pager from the
I'll bet you thought pages were only for business people, right? Well, not anymore. It seems like everyone is carrying them. Just think of the freedom and security a pager gives you. Now your children, friends, relatives, even the babysitter can reach you instantly almost anywhere you are. And right now, International Paging is offering display pagers for only $15 per month. That's it. If you would like a display pager from International Paging, call 1-800-2-PAGE-U. That's 1-800.
I had the pager for the catering job. I was with El Cholo Catering. Gavin got me the job. And that survived 11 years. I survived my music because I worked 2 parties every weekend. The parties, we came out of Western and 11th or something, that old school restaurant down there in Korea. And we drove up to Hollywood, and we set up a buffet, a margarita bar, and we served 4 hours, packed it up, and we left in the white van. And we went, to a lot of celebrity houses, a lot of cool houses and stuff. Small crew, always 4 or 5 people. 2 margaritas per person was mine when I became captain. Was top it off, 2 per person. You can't handle more. Anyway, so but I forgot exactly what we were talking about. But
we're talking about the time between, like, okay, because we're gonna get up to present day soon.
Yeah.
We're going, but like when when you lost your pager,
yeah, exactly.
and they're still sending you bills for to get to pay it. I remember when I was still receiving bills for like a year and a half after, if I wanted to renew my contract, I owed them $100, blah blah. And this is like I remember losing it. It was like, oh, it just disappeared. It was like, where'd it go? But it was so vital for that, like, one.
You had little different codes, so you didn't have to call back. Some people put in a code, and put numbers and stuff.
420.
Yeah. I remember the catering company when they paid, you had to pull over and call, or you missed the gig, the job, right? So I'm on Sunset.
Right then and there, you had to pull over and fucking find a phone, dude.
I'm pulling over on Sunset Boulevard and Vine, something right close to Vine and Sunset, and it's full on, but there's one emergency, whatever lane, and it's right by. I get off, I call, I'm like, I'll take the job. And I see a guy is right up on me looking at this koi fish, and I go, whoa, dude. And I finish, I take the job, and I turn around, and he's walking away. He's a few feet away, and I see sort of his body type and his teeth. It's Flea from the Chili Peppers. And I was like, I was gonna say, hey, and my car's running. I gotta go. You gotta jump in your car, get off. You can't be standing on Sunset Boulevard.
That shit happens so much. That's there's a word for it or something, like, because I had a meeting. I ran into Robert Downey Jr. and he bought some artwork from a buddy of mine in Venice a while back, and the whole place in McKinney was closed down, and his friend that was with him looked like somebody from the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers. He's a comic or something, and we had a conversation, but I was like, he's all, well, I'd love to see your stuff someday. And I didn't have my card or anything to give him, and I didn't know if I should run after him and go, oh wait, hold on. But that's what you do, because I think when you come to an older age that you're the source anyways, you're gonna do what you do regardless if you're not in it for the money in your true heart, and your creative light is beaming and you're kind of strapped on for the long haul. You don't really sweat the small shit anymore, I don't think. I feel like I don't, anyways, which gives you the levity and the confidence to go, hey, this is what I, whatever outlet, you're gonna do what you do.
Yeah.
Let's do something. Do you want to play anything? Do you want to, or do you want to encapsulate like anything that, or bring it to present day?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that there is some kind of connection that I'm feeling with this part of our time of our life now. I see my brother's band is getting Mental Hippie Blood. They're getting back together after 30 years. There's a lot of activity in our generation, I feel like, right now. And myself, I opened a music school, where I live. And I got 30 students in here a week and made now 7 or 8 bands out of these students. We're coming up on 1 year. And I directed a music school in Thousand Oaks, also back before I got out of LA there in 2010, 11 or something. You know, after that video, Summertime, it really, you know, in that season coming up is the sort of pinnacle of, I had a song that Samba Music liked, and it was called "Offer Me Something." And my friend, this friend Model Hendrick, I call him in the episode, but he told me, "Oh, this is a hit song, Martin." And I thought, okay, so they liked the song "Flowers," but Samba Music Publishing. She wants the flowers that I can give her. They like that, and I said, no, I'm sort of moving on. I'm listening to this band's like Sublime, and remember that time? Oh, it was Motley. It was all these kind of like funky, little Latin, little funk. And so I said, you know, I'm writing new songs, and they said, what do they sound like? Well, I said I'm writing this. It's got a little Latin flavor to it, and they said, all right, let's hear. And so they paid for this lockout for me to rehearse, and then they said, we'll do a demo for one of your songs with a professional producer. So we did this song, "Offer Me Something." Let me turn it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, finally, you know, they're gonna do something. And I'm just a lonely boy who lives down in Venice, California, walking along the beach, scouting for a girl within my reach. And then he goes, you could give me everything, offer me something, oh, offer me anything. So we did the tune, and we're making copies up there in the 9000 building, and somebody at the room said, you know, this would be a great song for Santana. And I said, all right, that's cool, you know, thank you, but, you know, I'm going to record it myself and everything. And so a few months later, they dropped me and said, you know, we're not going to pursue Martin. And so I went back to Sweden, and I right away signed with this little label, Malmö Records. And that's where the Summertime and So Offer Me Something is on that CD. And that's the second video we made. Now, 2 weeks of that one being out, I start getting calls from the States saying, you know, we hear your song on the radio. And, oh, we were in New York. You know, I heard your song on the radio. Can't be. I don't have a distribution deal in America. And so over and over, it's just like, I'm thinking 8, 9, 10 mentions or something. They heard my song. Because now I'm back after being in the States 3 years. So I have emails, I think, at the time. And so I get into the promoter of my shows that summer, and they said, and we have you on a festival. Santana's going to be on there. I said, oh, cool. Have you heard his single? No. And listen to this. It's a hot one. And then they go, oh, just forget about it. And so there was like, oh, I was shaking, you know, like, oh, that's just like my tune, you know. And they said it'd be great for Santana, you know. It's like, oh no. So I called the company in America, and then they didn't return my calls, and there was this back and forth and everything. But that was sort of my last hurrah at the Los Angeles music industry. I think I'd put out a couple more CDs, but those were like just at shows and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, when that happened, and I remember that when it was happening, and the aftermath of that. But yeah, that's you know, that story. I've been a part of that as well, realizing. And then there's that 5 stages of grief you go through, and you're like, but you know what you're doing is you're pitching shit all over town.
Yeah.
You're pitching shit to people that have the means to do it, and you don't. It's just
Yeah.
like what you said at the beginning of this fucking interview or chit chat. You know, there's like we can't read it because we don't know you.
Yeah.
They can read it, but they're gonna not know you after that. They're not gonna know you. You know, hey, you know, and this will come to people that are your friends as well, you know, and or that you think are your friends, and that's where the inspiration there's. But you know, I got over it because nobody likes a whiner. You know,
Right.
we're
Exactly.
not whining because
I
nobody
know.
likes that. I hate to be all, I always say, but it is a situation that your younger self, when you first came off the plane from Sweden, didn't know. You know what I mean? You came over with the, you know, even though you're really smart and savvy with business, apparently from the get go, but you didn't know that. So that's what experience gives you, and you
Yeah.
realize, oh, where am I at, and what are they doing right now, and what am I doing right now? Dude, look at that comparison. Look at the what are they doing with their lives? Those people that did those things or whatever. Not, hey, Santana is great, but I'm sure he's got a whole whatever faculty of people and ideas and stuff like that. But you know, that happens like constantly.
Well, I mean, as I was saying, you know, like anything I think is happened to me, I notice happens to most of us, and we're going through the same trip. And like you're saying,
I don't think I don't think it's victimhood. I think you get over that because it's like, oh, okay, because people are pulling things from the ether. It's a collective consciousness. One idea appears and many people see it. So the
Yeah.
people that actualize it are the people that have the means to do that in that context. But doesn't mean that that thing is dead.
Yeah, no. The only thing that bugs me now is I got this great band to back me up in Boulder 3-4 years ago, and I like, oh no, this is wonderful. I said to myself, the icebreaker is back. I called myself the icebreaker. They had a band and all that stuff. So I thought, man, I'm back, you know. And I said, oh, so we're jamming, everybody's talking and wishes these 2 tunes. And I said, I got one more tune. It's called Offer Me Something. So I started playing it, and they're like just started playing, you know, the Santana tune, and I was like, "Oh no,
Not that one! Not that one! Not that one!"
I can never play this tune again." I think
you're allergic to it. You're allergic to it.
No, people will always think that I'm playing his tune, you know.
That's like the story of the piano man. Billy Joel's a piano man at the bar. That's like one of that. It sounds like a story from that. You know, it's like one of those bar. It's just like I could have been Bruno Mars.
That was that Brando. I could have been somebody.
Yeah.
Instead of a
life is too short to live like that, and you know that too. But you know, hopefully people resonate with this. What we're saying, you know, hopefully it's relatable because it's real. It's not lying.
Yeah.
Real. You know, but this is part of the creative experience, right? You're fucking in 2023. We're fucking still here. People have passed before us. Too many people that we know have passed and not been able to express themselves fully. I don't think if they had the chance. You know, that's what the thing is. Like, you have to express. I mean, to not express yourself, like when people are talented and then they get various aspects of their life rolls around, you know, whatever hardships and family dynamics or whatever, they kind of, oh, I don't paint anymore, or I don't have time for that. And it's like you have to make time for it.
Well, I tried to be like just the dad, or you know, just the provider, you know. I try to do that.
I've rolled up newspaper of the glasses and the pipe.
Yeah, it's like, oh, so silly, draw attention to myself, you know. I think my daughter said something, we're like in the car, and she's like, hey dad, I know what you could do. You can have one of those signs like stop and then go. And I was like to myself, man, I gotta show her, I'm the icebreaker, man. So
Hey, little girl, I'm the fucking icebreaker, motherfucker.
I used to be so I kicked it up that year. And then since then, like right back into where we need to be. And we did a full album of hers, songs that we wrote. So 12,
nice.
12 songs where,
How old
like
is your daughter now?
she's 11.
Wow.
And she plays drums in one of the bands and sings lead. She plays guitar and sings
What?
lead in the other band. And she's a
Did she have your vocal? Did she have the thing?
dude. People love her vocals. They come around the corner when she sings, ask who's singing, when we're outside and
Is it
stuff.
like a
So
falsetto thing, or she go where she go?
I tell her not to whisper sing or stuff. She full voice, she was singing and last performance she was singing tough songs like Living on a Prayer and Don't Stop Believing and stuff. So she
What?
was yeah. It's just very
So,
cool.
but how's that hurt? How's that make you feel in your brains, in your heart?
It's amazing. She plays violin. When she does that, then I cry. When she
I cry.
oh man, it just flows out,
Do you get the chin, or just you don't have time for that? Just goes.
Yeah, it just opens up. It's the wiping time, And then she's a dancer and stuff. So it's all good, I am definitely happy with how life, how life is for me now with music and everything. And always it's been a journey, but I thought it was cool to see you and your paintings going out and how you keeping it going and the print the buffalo, right, going everywhere and catching people holding your art and stuff. And I thought with writing and getting this this season out of the way, I thought it was cool to check in with you because you're very much a part of that time. I know that girls liked you and there was some dudes that liked the girls that liked you. So like, oh, we're not going by Brett there. He he flirted with some girl of mine or something like that, right?
There's
So
a lot of weird shit going. I got kicked out of somebody's party because they didn't want me there. And I'm not like some Lothario, dude. I haven't gotten laid in like 3 years. I'm a fucking incel at this point. But like back then, it was like this one guy on, I won't name names, but where I was talking to, I'm not like I was talking to some girls. He is the guy at the party. He got me out of there. He's all, you got to leave. I was like, what are you talking about? He's all, and so I left. I don't want to be anywhere I'm not wanted at all. You're doing me a favor. But I wasn't doing anything. But there's a lot of weird shit like that in Venice. In Venice, there's a lot of shit like that happening where people are very territorial by nature, I think.
Yeah, it's very strange. I watch people's behavior. I never saw anything that caused that. But hey, I rolled with that gang, and it was just, sometimes we stopped by, and it was always a great time to stop by your place.
No, we had fires. I had a fire every night for like 10 years. It was crazy. That fire pit. We had some really good times. I mean, I don't neglect those, but I think with the, sure, we all made mistakes and we're all a little bit more, at least for I can speak for myself, we're a little bit more cocky than we needed to be, but there was that wanting of, we were chasing something as well. It wasn't like it is now. It's like, I'm not chasing shit. Never again. I'm avoiding drama. I'm avoiding bullshit, and I'm just creating the cleanest in a new space. I'm 53 now, so it's like I don't know. I feels like I just want to get back to the art because it's what I really do. Like that's what I'm here to do is art and create visual. The podcasts or films and stuff like that are secondary. Oh, dude, have you seen Avatar 2?
No, I don't know.
No. Well, if you ever do, see it on mushrooms because otherwise it's gonna suck.
Well, there's some of that in these episodes, man. But
Yeah.
that I would check in, with you again. But being being the hard day, I'm gonna step up to see my girl for a second, Brett.
All right.
Can I give my thanks and any other sort of wrap up questions to take us to this place?
Okay. What would you like to have known that you think? We'll wrap it up and give you 3 minutes
Okay.
because I don't want to keep you from your date. That's the last thing I want to do. What would you have liked to known when you're 17, right before you jumped on that plane when you're 18, that
Yeah.
you know now that you wish you would have known that you wish you would have known back then or would have told yourself?
Oh man. First of all, there's a lot of things like that, but then, and I'll come back to those things that I would have said to myself. Now, I question if I would have listened. Now, maybe that's a separate thing. After I told myself I never had a mentor, never a father figure, and all that stuff, would you have listened anyway? I don't know. My mother said to me when I called her crying, first split slash divorce, the heroine, the actor, and I called my mother, whiskey, and I say something, mom, make me feel better. You haven't listened to anybody since you were 7, Martin. Okay, so if I could have gone back myself and slapped myself in the face, you know, I would have told myself probably that there's like there's there's like two ways. There's an adventure waiting, and then there's like success in staying in your hometown, working off the contacts that you got through growing up, your parents' contacts, and growing from and it will be a pretty secure life, but then I chose that adventure. But to know that it's an adventure, I thought I was gonna anyway. So I said, I think patience may, there be, I don't know, man. That's it's a really good question, Brett. I think that see, I career, friendships, like people say, I was never able to live, I think I don't know what I would tell that person. Like there was times when I read back now, it's like these people will try to make friends with me, like make the the Lane and the Claude, Melinda, yourself, and but the people that were close, they were like trying to like hang out and do things in back of my head, like I'm only here, my visa runs out in 6 weeks, I got to make this happen. They were like, are you coming over for turkey Thanksgiving? Who
Oh, I
cares?
know where to find you. I know where to find you. I was like, no, you don't know where to find me because I'm not gonna. The possibility of me not being here is very likely.
Right, right. So I don't know. It's like, there's a life that could be have led, with those friendships they build over years. There was a lot of leaving people after a few months and this and that. And it's almost like PTO, but whatever PTS or whatever that's called. It's like, thousands of names in this phone
I think
book.
it's a menagerie. Life is a menagerie. It's a
Yeah.
menagerie of experiences. It's a soup of
I think
relationships
yeah,
and experiences and stuff like that. And we tend to cling on to the things that don't want to cling on to us. When things start to pull away, because you don't know the emotional faculty of it, because you're experiencing it for the first time, it can be like it's archetypal. It's like, oh, and then you get over it. You're like, oh, okay. And then you realize, it's called getting older, dude. But some people don't ever learn this stuff or think about ideas like this at all, ever.
that's true.
So
Okay.
we're, hopefully, growing creatively. Do you have a synopsis that are you? What can we expect coming forth from you right now in your world, and then we'll wrap it up and leave.
Yeah. Well, Brett, I'm gonna stay in touch with you and follow you and support you. For me, I'm trying to, it feels really good with this school, and I call it the NIWAD gig. And NIWAD is our town, the gig. My wife wanted something that they say, I'm going down to the gig, or some cool thing to say. And the club, the gig in LA on Melrose, I used to play a lot. But it feels really good to give my knowledge away. And this is the second time I run a rock school. And it was, I went from 7 students to 48 at the one in Thousand Oaks for 2 years and taught
When did you
them
do that? When did you do the Thousand Oaks?
2009 to 2011. And one of my kids there, Hoyt Yeatman, is now in the band Sitting on Stacy. He was 11, 12. Now he's signed to Columbia, and they're like gonna go big time now. But now he's 21.
That's
But
great.
this
That's
is
gonna feel good, man. That's gonna feel so good.
This is what I'm feeling is my calling now. And so I'm doing it again. I brought this school in 1 year from 0 to 30, 8 bands now. And we're doing 1 year anniversary March 5th with 6 bands, 2-hour show. And they were beginners a year ago. First G, they've never taken a chord. Now they're playing multiple songs. It's sounding good.
And
So
kids, I'm going to interrupt for just a quick second because it's a really good point to make. Because when I used to teach art to children, they are fucking sponges. They absorb and output like crazy. Their open heart chakras are fucking fully open.
They don't limit themselves the way we do, maybe
Yeah,
when we get older. Yeah. But
Like,
so we have a YouTube page for the schools. I could give some support videos, but the more I put down and I've made a songwriting curriculum videos and all this stuff, and the more I can sort of give what I learned these years of being a band leader or whatever, learning and the kids seem to take it up. The adults, I have 2 adult bands. I mean, adults that haven't played for 15, 20 years or something coming back, and now we're playing 14 songs, Allman Brothers, this, that, and they get to take their blues solo and have fun and so it's great, and so I'm just gonna give out more of that for the next year at least. And I'm 50, like you're saying, we're over 50, so it takes me a little longer to move and all that stuff. I hope.
Are you doing stretches?
No, bro, I have to.
Let's do a stretch. Oh, breathe. Oh.
I'm so stiff, man.
I know, dude. I'm getting over this shoulder injury. Oh, my shoulder, but it's looking good.
Okay, yeah, that is nice movement right there. Oh,
maybe I'm a song and dance man by trade.
Some of that, man.
Yeah, dude, you gotta fucking work it out.
I was saying what you were holding there in your hand.
I can do jumping jacks with a joint in my hand.
Yeah,
I'm a professional.
yeah.
Do you have any recent video by chance I could kind of tail on the back of this at all?
Oh,
anything recent that you can send me?
Yeah, absolutely. When I came back, I did, I recorded 30 with my daughter's 10 songs. At least I recorded 22 originals the last few years. Put out 2 albums with Marshall, my partner. But yeah, we did some videos for them. They're not 16 millimeter or whatnot. They're video, but
no,
the music is really good.
Yeah, send me like an MP4 after we get off this. I'm gonna probably edit, and so if you could send me something for that,
absolutely,
in the next 2 hours,
yeah,
and I'll put it at the end of this video. And can you also send me that one, the summertime video?
Yeah, I can send the video.
I'll either capture or download it. But how do people so you have a martinmarks.com, or how do you want people to get a hold of you? How can they support your school? How can they, get information on your music, all that stuff?
Yeah. there's two websites, you know, and martinmarksmusic.com is my personal website, and then the school's website is the NIWAT gig. So I can send a link to those two.
Can you spell Niawad? Because that makes my dyslexia go bananas when you say that.
I know it's NIWOT.
Okay.
So,
Niawad.
yeah.
Is that a Indian?
Yeah,
name?
exactly. For left hand, chief left hand was Chief Niwat. So
Nice. Well, hey man, any parting words to your friends, family, supporters, fans out there in the world, people you haven't talked to in a while that are excited to see this conversation, and what do you want to tell those people as we're living fucking 2023 right now? Jesus Christ.
yeah. No, I see the sun be behind you there, and I think of those days when I knew you to be over at Dudley, and that's the memories that come back, and the whole, like you're saying, the whole scene around those streets down to main streets and the few streets up there, and the Shotzi condos and everything's all in there.
Fuck, the Shotzi condos. If you had to go there, you had to fucking go.
Hey-oh. And
What was that guy that lived up there? He was making a movie called Absolute, and I love the title, the bald guy. He lived above there. He wrote this. I think it's 20 years, so I can fucking say the name of the fucking movie. But he was working on this script called Absolute, and I always thought that was a great fucking title. But I never heard what. Maybe I should blurb that out. No, maybe not. Fuck it. It's a good title. I should get, anyways. But like, I always thought that was like he really had something.
Yeah.
Like something like with that title, but nothing happened with it, so I don't know.
It's tough. I think he was connected to the Arnold situation with Shotzi somehow.
That was fun time. Shotzi was fun. That was like almost too extravagant. It was so much fun.
It was a wild
fun
time.
for like 3 years. It was only fun for like 3 years, right?
That's what I'm saying, and I just want to give to those people that were there with you and like you're saying, you know, like we came through maybe focused maybe on ourselves and not, and if you know at times, you know, not knowing how I was perceived, I just want to say, you know, I appreciate that time, and it was a lot of generosity, a lot of open doors, a lot of free beers and barbecues and everything else. And I think I was broke most of the time, so I really appreciate everybody who was hospitable, and no, and I wanted to check in with you, Brett, because you were the guy. You were our painter. You were our artist around that I knew was part of our little clique, and that was cool. I liked if there was a writer, if there was a poet, there was a painter, and then musicians and stuff.
Oh, we had a lot. There's a lot of creativity going on. There's a lot of freedom. There's you know, but I think the best is yet to come, baby. I think this is it. Now that we have those, like, you know, like. Yeah, it's good. The future looks bright. Let's just fucking roll into the newness, the new,
Absolutely.
all new, everything new, everything fucking new.
I'm the best I've ever been, for sure.
Yeah, well, you look great, man. Congratulations on everything. Thanks for the stories, and let's talk soon.
Okay, be in touch. Right. Thank you, and
Cheers.
thank you, everybody, and thank you.
All right. Yay, we did it. That was easy, right? That wasn't that bad, right? That wasn't that bad.
Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
Maybe he should be taken to a doctor.
As soon as possible.
As soon as possible.
It's good to be the king. $1,000. In fact,
fact, I don't even have one. But that don't mean I live for nothing, or that I do not need no one. Well, I couldn't take you driving, 'cause I don't own a car. But I made 2 fake cars for the subway, baby. And we don't need to go that far. Could you consider for a moment loving me? Could you consider for a moment to be with me and only me? I don't have my own business. I don't even have a job. And I might not look too sharp in these torn clothes of mine, but my beauty lies with my